Hello, everybody! Hello there! Welcome back! The triumphant return of Doug from his vacation, staycation, whatever you want to call it, well-deserved
Well,
break.
return. Let's not jump the gun and say triumphant, but return. I am
Okay,
here. I am here.
yeah. Yeah. Hello, everyone. We're so glad to be back. We missed y'all last week. Um, I see that we are all. Oh, we just completed level 2 of this hype train.
Oh,
Thank you. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's get to some of the rules so that we can start answering some of these questions.
Don't
First,
beat me after midnight. No, sorry.
oh yes, you're right. Uh, First and foremost, we do give priority to bit messages since that is some real world money spent. Sometimes we do have time for highlighted questions towards the end of stream, but please save your highlighting for the end of stream. Because if you highlight it now, I physically cannot scroll back up to it. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. That kind of applies to the bit messages as well. We do get behind. I have a list. Don't worry. It is very rare that a question gets skipped in these Q&A sessions. So just have patience. No need to give more bits. We will get to it. Watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely we are to lose the point, and I can't repeat it because we are limited on time. So, the shorter to the point, the better. Please, no spoilers. Not everyone has had the chance to see the latest and greatest thing. I was just trying to think of what that even might be. I don't even know.
Last of Us.
Last of Us? I guess. Yeah, I guess
I mean,
Last
it just
of Us.
started, but everyone's already loving it. They're already declaring it like
it's
the best
so
show ever
good.
made.
Oh my
It is
god.
really good.
It's so good. It's ridiculous. Please maybe check to make sure someone else hasn't asked the question that you've already asked. Sometimes we get like the same question like 3, 4, 5 times, then we just feel bad that you've spent money and we just have to say, oh, well, we kind of already asked that, answered that, here you go. So maybe just check to make sure someone else hasn't asked your question, so that we're not, just giving you the table scraps, as Doug has said. And to reiterate from the last time, we are setting the bits at 100 now, just to see, so we can, I shouldn't say just to see, so we can answer the questions more in depth rather than more frantically, and also hopefully we can get to more highlighted messages at the end, which I know what the people want.
That's definitely something I always feel bad when we can't get to highlight it at the end. So yeah, definitely try to speed that up.
For sure. All right, let's get to it then. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. How are you feeling, Heather, and how's Rob doing? Rob's doing well, right? He just finished some fanscription stuff, so he's very excited
Yeah, he
about
just
that.
finished like the fanscription images, so he's very happy about that.
Yeah.
What's up, night? It's doing good.
Yeah, and I'm feeling under the weather. I canceled my afternoon stream, but you know what? We're here. We're answering your questions, all right?
I said she doesn't have to do
yes, this is
put it
more
out
for
there.
me. It's very much me. I am not someone who rests well, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, I've been sitting and like napping basically all afternoon. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something or I'm gonna go crazy right now. 2 hours of a stream? Fine, I can do that. But yes, Doug is not forcing me to do this. This is all me.
Blink if you're okay.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, Dougie's Angels and Heather. How are you lovely folks doing?
Good. Thank you.
Hanging in there. CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, did you really sneak in a don't watch Charlie's Angels, just watch porn joke in there?
I don't know. I thought that's what that movie was saying to me, but maybe people saw a really good story and characters. What the hell do I know?
Well, and actually, that's where the bit came from. Someone asked him about Charlie's Angels 2 weeks ago, and he was like, yeah, I say this in the review, but...
Yeah, no, I that's why we were saying it here, because I literally said it in the review.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. I hope that you have a relaxing vacation, Doug. And good news, it was just announced that Phineas and Ferb is getting 40 more episodes. I'm so excited. 2 new seasons.
I didn't know it was 2 new seasons. That's really, really cool. I feel bad because I did hear that. That's great news. And then I saw Inside Job was canceled. I was just like, oh, that sucks, because I was enjoying that one. But it is nice to have Phineas and Ferb back.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Is there a movie slash TV scene or line that was supposed to be cool, but became ruined slash cringy due to hype slash overplay? For me, it's hasta la vista, baby, line from T2.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Man, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to, like, some sort of Schwarzenegger line, yeah, because that's always how it happened.
Like an I'll be back or something like that.
Yeah, but I'll be back was followed by that great the car entering the scene. That was pretty good.
In high school, a ton of my friends would do the say hello to my little friend, and I'm like, if I hear that one more time.
Maybe you know, and it was already like kind of a thing, but probably the Borat stuff, and I did that too. You know, it's nice. Like I did some of it too, but it's like when everyone else started doing it, I'm like, yeah, oh shit, I better stop. I could just tell this is gonna get out of hand.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 31-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Hey guys, can I ask a question? The space was way out for you to ask a question there in the resubscribe message there. That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron? I just finished watching it for the first time, and holy shit, it's one of DreamWorks' best movies.
Yeah, I liked it. I only saw it once, and I think I saw it for DreamWorks-uary. I remember liking it. I don't remember loving it, but I can see it being a film that, like, the people who enjoy it, I could see really loving it. You know what I mean? Like, I could see, I like horses, but I don't love them or anything. But if somebody loves horses, I feel like, oh, they're gonna adore that film because the animation and the scenery and everything, and the story. It's a good story too. I think they really get into it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the trailer for You People with Jonah Hill, Eddie Murphy, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
I only saw the teaser, which didn't show much. And it didn't blow me away, but it is only a teaser, so yeah, I have to actually see the trailer because I only saw the little bit before.
Honest Reviewer, thank you for the 130 bits. Doug, I have something important to tell you. Listen closely. Are you listening? Are you sure? Just making sure? Yes? Okay. Hi.
Hi.
The Art Alchemist, thank you so much for that 4-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate you using your Prime here. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on A Man Called Otto?
I never saw it, but it doesn't look like a movie I'd like. I don't know. I'm kind of getting sick of Tom Hanks. He's almost becoming like a caricature of himself, and I don't... At this point, just play Tom Hanks. He's good at that. I don't like when he has to do something with a voice or an accent or, ooh, I'm just going to disappear into this character. It's like, you're not, buddy. You're not. And I love you, but you're not. You're not.
That's not you.
No.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can we get a clue to next week's NC review?
Here's your clue. You ready? Nothing.
All right.
Because I took a week off, so it's not going to happen. Oh, I take it back. There's going to be a compilation, so there is that.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the trailer for Renfield, the new Nick Cage movie where he plays Dracula?
I thought it looked okay. I guess I gotta just wait and see it, because honestly, outside of Cage being in it, nothing was grabbing me. Oh, you know, I forget that guy's name, but the main actor in it he's from The Menu and The Great. He's really, really good. But nothing else about it I found that interesting. But I could be wrong. It didn't look bad. It just didn't look like there was much to it. But outside of the actors. But maybe that'll be enough.
Yeah, right. I think it's going to rely heavily on marketing for Nick Cage Dracula, and I think we're only going to see like maybe 15 minutes of Nick Cage Dracula.
That was my guess, because he only shows up at the end of the trailer too.
Right.
So, but again, that main dude, I feel bad I always forget his name, but he can hold a movie. He's very, very good. So I mean, that's not the issue. The thing is more, I think, just the overall story and style and everything isn't grabbing me. But again, I could be totally wrong.
Yeah. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Megan?
I haven't seen it yet, but everyone says it's great.
Mm.
Like, apparently it has like good commentary and everything, and like everyone's embracing the campiness of it. So, yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, but I'm pretty excited to.
The Hourman, thank you for the 100 bits. So, with the popularity of the Puss in Boots villain Death, what are your top 5 favorite DreamWorks villains and why?
Oh man, I'd have to like look at the movies again. I mean, he would be up there. DreamWorks anime movies. Let me see just to get like I do kind of like the fairy godmother from Shrek 2. She was pretty good. Yeah, let me see. I guess I'm not seeing like a ton of great. I guess the one from Rise of the Guardians was okay. Oh, the fucking was it Peacock or whatever from Kung Fu Panda 2? He was so good. He was really, really good. That's about all I'm seeing here. All the others are either forgettable or forgettable. Yeah. Not doing much. Oh, actually, Michelle Pfeiffer from Sinbad. She was pretty cool. Just the animation on her. Oh, and goddamn Ramesses. Okay, you know what? There were some good villains. I take that back. There was at least 4 or 5 good villains.
I just read that. Sorry. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Adam Sandler movie Hustle?
Did I see that one? I'm trying to remember. I don't think I saw that
I didn't see
one.
it.
I heard it's okay. I should probably give it a chance. I was taking this week off to catch up on all these things I had to watch, and I still didn't catch up on everything. I didn't even have that one on the list, so shame on me.
WWE and Anime Rules, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you hear Mark Hamill say he'll probably never voice Joker again because of Conroy's passing? And just curious, but why is the cheer now cost 100 instead of 50? Well, we did kind of address that in the beginning, just so we can have more time to discuss things.
Yeah, and get to like highlighted questions and stuff like that. So on the one hand, that is a shame about Hamill because that's like he's up there with Conroy in terms of like, man, that's like when I think of Joker, I think of that voice. But he is getting old too, and you can hear it wearing on his voice a little bit. I think it's a good time to step away, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's just like Conroy. When I read a comic, I'm gonna hear his voice as the Joker always.
Yeah. Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the new Matilda movie if you got a chance to finish it?
We were just talking about it. I loved it. I loved it to death.
I'm so excited to see what they're gonna do with Roald Dahl properties at Netflix.
The choreography, the music, the cinematography in it, the acting was great. I liked the way they used Emma Thompson's kind of inability to sing to their advantage. Like they didn't do that in Beauty and the Beast, but this one, it's like, well, she's supposed to be kind of unpleasant, but she can belt it. She can hold a note. It's just hitting, not getting it to, sound flat and stuff like that. So by making her so unpleasant, she played it so well. I thought she sounded really great and really funny. It just matched those songs perfect. Yeah, I was very impressed with how well done that movie was.
Devox, thank you so much for that 32-month subscription. Welcome back. Super appreciate that. They say, hello, everyone. Hello.
Hi.
Rob the Snob, thank you for the 100 bits. Is your Christmas/holiday season finally over for you, Doug? Are you done with your Christmases?
Well, I'm not going to any more Christmases. So, yes, it's weird. A lot of, like, my Christmas spirit, so to speak, really relies on the weather. If it's still snowing, I'll still listen to like the Christmas music and keep the Christmas tree up a little bit more and stuff like that. But the snow hasn't been that bad this year. Definitely not as bad as other places have gotten it. It got cold. It got very, very cold, but the snow hasn't been that bad. And that doesn't mean it's over. Usually we get something in February, even March. So I mean, it doesn't mean April. It's over and over. Yeah, but yeah, it is one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm not bringing out the Christmas music then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in February. But yeah, there are times where I'll ride it through like the end of January. But this year I was just like, yeah, no, second week of January, that was good.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Just saw the review of Charlie's Angels, and holy crap, did it look so bad, especially when Diaz and Barrymore dressed as Asian women and the Chinese music played. Pure WTF moment.
And that was like one of the softer moments, man. When she came out in brown face, I was like, huh? I couldn't believe I saw that. But It's weird. I'm looking through the comments. People really have a love for that movie, and I mean, if you love it, fair enough. I am dumbfounded by that. I could not get into it at all. Maybe I'm just not Charlie's Angels guy. Like I said, I tried watching an episode before doing the movie too, and I'm like, I'm not even getting into this. So yeah, I think I'm just not the right audience.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm sorry, Doug, but the 2000s Charlie's Angels movies are fun, and they did give me a huge crush on Drew Barrymore.
I mean, I hear you. You're not alone. I was looking through the comments, and like nobody was angry or pissed or anything. They're like, I like these. These are fun. It's like fair. I can't argue with you. But yeah, I get the feeling. I could be wrong. I get the feeling the people that like them were younger watching it, and then when they grow up, they're like, oh, but I remember that time. Like the people that grew up with Space Jam, it's like I get it because that is a pure time capsule, like 100%. Like there's so much nostalgia in there. I just could not see what else. At least there's nothing else I could get out of it. But again, it seems to have really brought a lot of joy to a lot of people. So what the hell do I know?
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. A nostalgia ween for the human centipede.
Oh man, yeah. Good luck getting that past YouTube. Censorship now. Yeah, that ain't happening. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. We're gonna have to do nothing but like kid-friendly Halloween movies for nostalgia ween now.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you say Death from Puss in Boots 2 is a villain? This is surprisingly a debate right now. Some say he is, some say he's an antagonist, some say he's just an obstacle for Puss to overcome, and some say he's not even evil, he's just doing his job.
Well, no, because he pushes his what's the word I'm looking for? He pushes his checkout time forward. So I do think that makes him a villain. And he's doing it for the thrill because he likes that he thinks he's invincible and immortal and stuff like that. And now he's actually afraid. And he's like, ooh, I'm going to push his death up now. So I do see him as a villain. And that's why I like the way he defeats him is so clever as well. I won't give it away. But yeah, I'll say this, probably not as much a villain as a Jack Horner in the movie. Like they give him no redemption at all. But yeah, but I kind of like those different kind of villains in there where, you know, some are very redeemable, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Some are somewhere in between, like, you know, Death, or he's kind of a villain, but he's also, you can reason with him. And then some are just not redeemable at all, like Jack Horner. So yeah, I like that.
The Art Alchemist, thank you for the 100 bits. Fanscription idea, Tom and Jerry and the Grinch. The classic cartoon, of course, since they're both from Warner Bros. How do you think that would look?
Don't tempt them, Frodo. They'll totally do it, man. Oh, man, why isn't that? We were talking about these AIs creating these, like, 80s dark fantasy film versions of blank, you know, whatever, Super Mario Brothers, Breaking Bad and stuff. That's one I think somebody's gonna do Tom and Jerry Meet the Grinch, because that just sounds like that can exist.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I'm pumped. Not only to play Star Wars Jedi Survivor, but for you to play it as well. The only downside is that it's only coming to PS5. Same for Spider-Man 2, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, but it's worth the price. Trust me. It's not only PS5, it's actually just all next-gen systems. But that does include PC, so Doug's going to do it on PC.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta get a controller for that the more I think about it.
Oh, we have extra Xbox controllers at the
Okay,
studio.
perfect.
I'll hook you up. Don't worry.
All right, awesome.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC Commercials idea, the AmeriQuest, don't judge too quickly, we won't. YouTube ads.
You know, somebody sent those to us, and we didn't do them because I didn't know what to say about them aside from the fact that they were just funny.
Okay.
And I completely just I don't know, deleted those from my memory because as soon as I watched them, I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember these, and they are super funny. They're super funny because a lot of these jokes you couldn't really necessarily get away with today either, but they're still really smart. And really, really clever, and it kind of plays a little bit on that bad taste too. It's someone's always in a situation that somebody else takes a wrong way, and the wrong way they take it is where it gets into like that, oh, could you get away with that today? But that's also what makes it really funny. So I don't know. I can't think of what to say about it, but they are very, very funny. You might have even been the one that recommended it before and reintroduced me to them. Yeah, they're very well done.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. Since Monday was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, here's a story involving him. When Dr. King was looking for a theater group for his kids, Julia Roberts' mom allowed them to join her community theater group. When she gave birth to Pretty Woman herself, Dr. King paid for her birth.
Yeah, I just saw that. Some sort of article or something that popped up on Google. Um, it's like, I did not know that. Neat. Well, you just never think those two would have any connection. There you go.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite scene in Spaceballs?
Oh man. It gotta be something with Lord Helmet. Any scene with him is so great. Probably the scene where they're watching the movie and he's seeing all the embarrassing things that happen to him, and then they get right in the middle, like at the moment, the exact moment, and like the camera's filming them and everything they're saying is happening on screen. That is so funny.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Well, Doug, I'm curious as to what you think about Justin Roiland and his recent domestic abuse charges, and what do you think this means for Rick and Morty?
I mean, it doesn't sound good. Not that I heard a lot about it, but I heard enough. Sounds very bad. But I mean, for Rick and Morty, that is the nice thing about an animated show, is that it can continue with other people, and that show has amazing writers, so it can keep going. But isn't he like one of the voices too, or isn't he like a couple of the voices? Maybe I'm not sure. Is he Morty? I hate to say it. I feel like the voices, at least with Morty, that could easily be replaced.
Yeah.
Not to say he at all did a bad job, but it's so clearly a voice, and it's a style that I feel like could easily be replicated. So I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, no, I mean, anytime I hear that, you just go, oh my God, like it's terrible. I hope with anything, you just hope whatever really happens, that's what comes to light and justice is done. That's, all you can really hope for.
Rob and the Snob, thank you for the 100 bits. Hopefully you don't have everything from the early 2000s. Oh, maybe they mean hate everything from the early 2000s, because I'm from 2001.
Oh, I especially hate you. No. No, I have a weird hatred for the late 90s and the early 2000s. I don't know. And part of it is I just remember movies being really bad. I'm a big movie nerd, so maybe that's part of it. But just the overall style and identity, I never got into. Is sort of 2006, 8 on. I think it's fine. And I like the early 90s as well. So Rob is just like, oh, well, fuck the 90s. I hate the 90s, blah, blah. But I always try to tell him, no, but the early 90s are fun, and he's like, well, yeah, that was okay, because it's still bleed over from the 80s. And I'm like, yeah, no, I get that. But it's just personal preference. Everyone's going to have a different, time period they look back on more fondly than others.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. The Workaholics movie was scrapped at Paramount Plus just weeks before filming was supposed to begin. Thoughts?
I'm trying to think if I saw Workaholic. I think my wife watched it a little bit. I remember it being funny, but I'm not enough of an expert to have any real opinion on it. Like, no, or whatever. I'm like, I remember liking it. I don't remember anything demanding a movie, but and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it could be one of the best movies ever made. Who the hell knows?
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. It was very unusual seeing you review something as a nostalgia critic that isn't from the 80s or beyond, even though you sometimes review films from the 70s. Are you planning to do NC of movies from the 60s or before more often?
Like with Sword in the Stone? I mean, I feel like it had to be something that I'd really want to talk about with that, because yes, that does have like kind of the stamp of the 60s on there, but it's also kind of timeless too, and anyone can watch it and grow up with it. So I don't know. I obviously love talking about Disney films, and that spans back so far that I'll probably get more of those, but nothing is planned as of recent.
Mr. Scooby, thank you for the 5-month subscription. Welcome back.
Thank
Love
you.
you guys. Ready for a great stream. Well, awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for White Noise, War Dogs, or Don't Look Up.
I never saw, what was the second one?
War Dogs.
War Dogs? I never saw that one, I don't think. The other two I saw, I mean, I'm not a fan of them. I don't think I could talk much about it. the stuff I don't like is the same thing everybody doesn't like. I don't think I'd be able to really add that much. White Noise I appreciate for at least trying something different. And taking a chance on something, because that director usually doesn't do work like that. And you could see what he was trying to do. It just didn't work for me anyway.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, at some point, can we get an NC review for Puss in Boots 2? Get on the bandwagon for praising this masterpiece.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about that as soon as it comes to Blu-ray or whatever. Because it is one of those. I saw it again. I saw it on my week off, and I took some friends to go see it, and they loved it too. Because I was like, I gotta see this in the big screen again. And yeah, I still really, really loved it. And I feel like I can talk about it in a fair amount of detail. So yeah, I probably will.
Devox, thank you for the 200 bits. Have you seen Glass Onion, and what did you think?
Yeah, I liked it.
Me too.
Some people were saying, man, it goes so crazy. It's not even like a Knives Out movie, man. It's just like so over the top. I'm like, no, it's not what I thought it would be. But then I do think, let me put it this way. I thought this is what the first Knives Out was going to be from the Knives Out trailer. You know what I mean? Like it was going to be following all these crazy, kooky characters and who did and stuff. And then it flipped it on its head and did something very different, which is like, oh, okay. But when Glass Onion came out, I guess I was expecting like, oh, it's going to do it again. It's like, oh, no, it gave the movie I was expecting. It still threw in some clever twists and stuff. But I mean, I got who was pretty quick. And I think most people did. But it's like, that's part of the fun. The fun is the characters and how are they going to find this stuff out and in what over the top twisty way did all this go down and everything. And that stuff's always a lot of fun. And yeah, just those people are having a ball clearly. So yeah, I had a good time.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for Melancholia.
Man, an NC. Ugh, I don't know how much I could say about it. I like the movie. I don't think I could get that much of a review out of it. But yeah, I just don't see how many laughs I can get out of that.
Exile, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you played Cyberpunk 2077? And if so, what are your thoughts on Keanu Reeves in that game?
I've only played a little at my brother's place because, again, he has a PS5 and everything. And I mean, it's impressive. I don't think I saw, impressive on a PS5. And even then, you could see, like, characters loading in slowly and cars and vehicles loading in slowly. And it's like, okay. Well, it's a lot of ambition. I know how games work and the guy hit the due dates and stuff. But the little bit I saw, I liked. It was really, really cool. I didn't see any of Keanu Reeves in it, sadly, so I can't mark on that.
Okay. Yeah, I played it for about 20 hours, and I enjoyed it. I was playing on PC, so I think my PC ran it better than some people's like PlayStations and Xboxes did. And I had fun with it. I would like to revisit it now that things have been patched up, because I hear that now that things have been patched up, it's actually a really great game. I thought Keanu Reeves was good in it. It's a lot of fun. His character is. So, Pokenut Case, thank you for the 103 bits. For Heather, did you ever watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters anime? Not the Duel Masters anime, no. I just watched like the original, like maybe first season. So, it was one of those things that was on my peripheral that I never got super into, but it was a fun anime. Honest Reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. I want to see the new Charlie's Angels movie from the Futurama episode, guest starring Lucy Liu. That one had them fighting vampires that blew up.
I don't remember that one. Or maybe I do. I remember her head like in the jar talking, but I don't remember what they said. I don't know. That to me that'd be more entertaining than what we got. But again, that's just me.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I noticed another trope after watching Glass Onion that happens a decent number of times in mystery genres. I'm just reading ahead to make sure it's not a spoiler.
Okay.
That's become a cliche. Okay. A detective that's world famous. Who in the world knows a detective by name? And someone getting... Okay, yeah, no, I don't want to read that last part, because that last part is a little bit of a spoiler.
But, I mean... Is it, though? Everybody figures out who it is. I don't know. I mean, okay, you want to be safe. You're right. You don't want to ruin it for other people. But in terms of the world famous thing, I mean, I think that's part of the fun. It's like, how many world famous detectives are there? Well, only one in this universe. That's always the fun of it, in my opinion. They're so good. They're the only well-known one. But yeah, I mean, on top of that, it's clearly borrowing from a lot of detective tropes and mystery tropes and stuff like that. And that's also part of the fun is that it's using them, kind of putting a spin on them in a creative way. And yeah, no, I like them for that. I do like a good mystery, and I like playing in my head, if I can figure out who it is early on instead. Because I don't go by motive or evidence or clues or anything like that. I just go from a writing point of view. Like, okay, who would be the biggest surprise from the writing standpoint when it's revealed this is the person who did it? So I look for the ones that either don't talk much or talk too much, that they're
Yeah.
too much the center of focus instead. That's why Knives Out legit tricked me, because I was legitimately saying, what is the mystery to this? Because it looks like you revealed who did it. So what am I even looking for in the mystery? And they'd had so many twists and turns in terms of the narrative. I'm like, oh, it's really fucking good. But Glass Onion is a touch more straightforward.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Least favorite part of your favorite movie?
Uh, so my favorite movie is Brazil, and I think the action sequences are a little bland. They're not terrible, but it has kind of very bland music, and even the director himself said, "Yeah, I'm not that great at doing action. Just somebody shoots at someone else, or a car chases another car. I don't know. It's just other people can do it better than me." And he's right, but it's not terrible. It's just a little bland.
DJ Lol 5, thank you for the 100 bits. Fun fact, apparently Chris... Oh, I think this is supposed to be Crispin Glover, but it says Crisp in Glove A. Hated how bad the script was, so much that he refused to say any of his lines, and they had to rewrite his character to be mute.
I mean, he still knocked it out of the park. Him and Tim Curry are just having a blast in that movie. Those were the two like saving graces for me. Whenever they popped up, I'm like, oh my god, I love these two.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. How does DreamWorks manage to make such great sequels? Shrek 2, Kung Fu Panda 2, How to Train Your Dragon 2 are all great examples of what a sequel should be. Take notes, Disney.
Yeah, Puss in Boots too is really really good. I don't know, and I wasn't even like expecting it with Puss in Boots too. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we can make another one of these. I don't know, and everyone said it was great, and they were right.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your favorite part of your least favorite movie?
All right, so that'd be Garbage Pail Kids. What's my favorite part? Huh. Just for how bad it is, I love that one woman in what is it, the leopard leotard or that was just doing that weird laugh. That made me laugh, I guess.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, great news. James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez have talked about wanting to make a sequel to Alita Battle Angel, so there is hope.
Oh, I hope so, man. Come on, get on that instead of Avatar 5, 6, 7, whatever. Give us another Alita, man.
Yeah. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. In your worst movies of 2022 video with Brad, you mentioned Be Kind Rewind. Will that get an NC?
No, because I have a bad confession about that movie. It's good. I like it. I don't love it. And I'm not sure why. I should love it. It has all the qualifications for a movie I should really, really adore, and something about it doesn't grab me. I can never quite figure out what it was. So, yeah, it's by no means bad at all. It's a good movie, but yeah, for some reason it doesn't grab me, and I can't find much to say about it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Night Court reboot?
I saw a clip. I didn't grow up with too much Night Court, but I did grow up with a little bit, and I did like it. The little clip I saw was fine. I guess I haven't seen any more outside of that, so yeah, I guess I can't comment too much. I don't even know if it's out yet. Like I said, I just saw a little clip on YouTube.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the new Ant-Man 3 trailer? I thought it looked awesome.
I think it looks cool. I like the Ant-Man movies. I guess they have a lot of hate behind them, and I didn't know. Weird, right?
Yeah.
Ant-Man?
They're charming.
It's different. Yeah, maybe because it's different from the comics or something. Every once in a while, you do a review of something, you just find out, whoa, there is hate for this. Like Incredibles 2 has a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know about that. And I'm one of those people that was like, oh, come on, grow them up. But when I saw the movie, I'm like, oh, okay, I want them grown up, but if they're not going to do it, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is a good follow up. So, yeah, I don't know. I think they're fine. I think this one looks really cool. And what's the name of the bad guy? I always want to say Crag or Krang or what the main
Oh,
bad dude.
Kang?
Kang, yeah. He looks cool. He looks. I loved him in Loki. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with him, how they're gonna make him the big baddie. That and the crossover universe stuff are the two things that I'm like excited for in Marvel right now. I want to see what they're gonna do with that.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I don't know if you know this, but James Cameron revealed a bit of the plot for Avatar 3. The film will explore the evil side of the Na'vi. At least that's something different. Oh no, but did you hear the rest of it, Noah? The rest of it is that they're exploring the evil side of the Na'vi through a fire tribe.
I'll believe it when I see it. Trust me, both of those sound really really cool. Because again, I'm sick of just recycling the same movie over and over. I think Fire Na'vi sound really goddamn awesome. I just imagine them red and they got like flames on them and everything. And I think that'd be really cool. But I'll believe it when I see it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, in Batman Returns, when Catwoman licks Batman's face, how can you not say that was his favorite scene to shoot? Dare I say that made his millennium? If you had to guess an actor's favorite scene to shoot, what would it be? Anytime Tom Cruise gets to do stunts.
I guess kind of maybe it just brought up this memory in making of when they were doing X-Men 2. There's a scene where Mystique is on top of or Rebecca Romijn is on top of Hugh Jackman. She has to turn into different women, and Hugh Jackman just anytime they had to get another beautiful woman on him, he's like, next, okay, yeah, it's wonderful. Next, like that, like next beautiful woman, next. Like he apparently was very okay with that scene. So I guess kind of along the same vein as that.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Don't want midnight screenings, just watch porn.
Yeah, man, we're just gonna go back to this now. Don't want the Q&A stream? Just watch porn.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the trailers for the new Shazam, Ant-Man, and Guardians of the Galaxy movies?
Guardians looked really good.
It looks so good.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Ant-Man looks like fun. Shazam 2, it's weird. Shazam 2 on the small screen, I'm like, well, this looks cute. Whatever. I don't know. Doesn't leave an impression. But whenever I see it on the big screen, it is such a cool trailer. It's really weird how, like, just changing the screen size and the sound and everything can just completely alter your take on it.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, remember in your top 11 villain songs video where you said that the Grinch has the first real villain... Sorry, the Grinch was the first real villain we ever saw. That may be the case for you, Doug, but I don't think that's true to everyone else, because one, the Grinch becomes good at the end, which I think doesn't make him an actual evil villain, and two, chronologically, the first real, true villain we all ever saw was the Queen from Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
I'd have to go back and look at it again, because that video is so old. Maybe I meant something else. Yeah, because even I'm hearing them like, wait, what do I know about what's the first villain you ever saw or the world ever saw? This villain's before the Grinch. I might have meant it in a different way. I'd have to go back and watch it again.
Exile, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, did you know that Will Smith was supposed to play Neo but turned it down for Wild Wild West? Boy, what a great decision that was.
The sad thing is, I know he's like, whatever, still in hot water and stuff like that, but I would have loved him as Neo. I love Keanu Reeves now. God, was he boring back then. And I think he made such a boring Neo. And I think Will Smith could have brought this very natural charm to that role. Yeah, it's a shame he didn't go with it.
Gary Turbo, thank you for the 100 bits. Funny how people are so upset over the pregnant Joker story, although the pregnant men gag been around since Bill Cosby did it on the Cosby Show.
I don't even know this one, do you?
I don't know.
Joker?
I don't know.
I'll try to look it up later.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the new Oppenheimer trailer? I haven't seen it.
It looks fine. Nothing's grabbing me. I know they're trying. Nolan, and I give him credit. He's always trying to make his movies an event, and he's usually very good at building up that hype. I have like nothing's excited in me to watch that. It doesn't mean it's going to be bad or anything. I hope it's good. But yeah, they're trying to like they're not doing like the logo at the beginning. They just like sometimes they even say now our feature presentation, then they'll show a trailer for that. Like, no, this is important. We got to build this up, man. And I'm always like, okay, well, what's like? I mean, I know the story, but I guess I'm not getting into the hype necessarily. Doesn't mean the movie will be bad, but it's not leaving much of an impression on me.
People are saying, don't look up the pregnant Joker. Don't Google it.
Oh, no, I have to look up the pregnant Joker. Yeah. Is it like an image thing, or is it just what was said about it?
I don't know.
Oh, fuck it.
Oh, Talkative Carl says it's a one-off Elseworld story. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. I'm just seeing if there's any image. Yeah, okay. So that's
the
what's
thing.
going on in Elseworld. Okay, good to know.
Mr. O'Scooby, thank you for the 100 bits. Is there something you watched recently that you think deserves more attention?
I mean, Puss in Boots 2, it comes to mind, obviously. I mean, I try to praise the hell out of that. I'm sure there's other stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I'm blank. I imagine maybe I think it's doing well, but that Matilda musical as well. I really think. I don't know. I kind of want to go back and watch it again. I liked it so much. It's rare that I want to go back and see something again right after seeing it with Puss in Boots 2 and Matilda. I really did. I think that's saying something.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. My oldest brother asks if there are any plans for a collab with Corey Taylor. Maybe he'll show up in a review of Yellow Submarine.
Man, music copyrights are very, very tight, man. So probably not, at least not with Yellow Submarine. I mean, we still chat all the time. He's still the sweetest dude. So nothing is planned, but yeah, any chance to work with him is always a super delight, man. So yeah, but we try not to force it either. So just when something seems right, it's like, okay, let's do it. But yeah, I'm really not kidding. He's one of the most genuine, nicest human beings on the planet.
CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. So did either of you hear of the police officer in Wendota, Minnesota, Michigan, MI is Michigan, who's on probation? Officer Ice, the police dog, is being accused of stealing people's lunches.
No, I did not hear that sentence.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. After your Sword in the Stone review, I'm wondering if Disney does a live-action remake, will they bring up the real tragic ending of what happened to King Arthur?
Yeah, I don't know. If they had a better track record, I'd be really excited to see what they would do in a live-action remake. But it's usually not that great. But I don't know. It'd be nice to get maybe like the guy who did Pete's Dragon or something like that. I could see him doing like a Sword in the Stone and making it really interesting. Because there is potential. You can do something different with it, but you can still stay true to the story as well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure if it's on the list if that's one they're doing. So if they are, I hope it's good. I always hope they're good. They just so rarely are.
Mm-hmm. Constable Gamer, thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, everybody.
Thank you.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. For the two characters see each other once and then they're instantly in love trope, you should do a joke where you and Tamara see each other and it immediately cuts to you two getting married and Tamara is like, what the fuck?
I think Futurama kind of did that. I think it was like Fry and Leela were saying how they're never going to be it's one of those things where the future keeps jumping forward and they're talking about how they're never going to be a couple and it just cuts to them married. So, yeah, probably not.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, two questions relating to Amphibia. One, will you make a Dark Toons for the season 3 episode Olivia and Yunnan? Two, what are your thoughts on Andreas, and the core as villains, their backstory, and Keith David's performance?
And man, hold on. Amphibia. It was
Andrias.
I was gonna say, is that the Keith David one? Yeah. I liked him. It was a little easy to tell early on he was going to be the bad guy, but I still like the way they did that and it gave him an interesting arc near the end and stuff like that. And Keith David can do, no wrong when it comes to acting, man. He's always literally pitch perfect. So, no, I thought all that was done very well.
DCL Coda, thank you for the 100 bits. Avatar in 2000.
Oh, in terms of a Dark Toon, I'm sorry. We'll see, because there were a few episodes I was thinking about doing a Dark Toons on, so we'll see.
DCL Coda, thank you for the 100 bits. Avatar in 2009. Want to see me get nominated for Best Picture? Avatar after the Oscar nods on Tuesday, most likely. Want to see me do it again?
I'm curious if that'll get nominated. My guess would be the sequel wouldn't get nominated. Because I think it was such a big thing when it first came out and people got so sucked into it. I feel like the Academy now is kind of like, all right, we gave them the one. Now they're just making these to making these. Yeah, we're not going to give them our Best Picture. But I could be wrong. Could be totally wrong. I'm still rooting for, was it Everything, Everywhere, All at Once? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the one where I was like, yeah, man, that was really, really good.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. How curious are you for James Gunn's template for the future of the DCU, which apparently some of it will be announced this month?
I mean, I don't like getting rid of Cavill. I didn't like that choice. I hope they do something where they're still trying different versions of movies and universes, because that's what separated, I think, DC from Marvel in terms of movies, and I like that. But by getting rid of Cavill, they're kind of saying they're not going to do that. So I don't know. But he's a talented guy, and I think he could be a very talented producer. So I'll still wait and see.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. In response to your clue for next week's NC, I think you may have something here.
No, it's nothing. It's nothing. That was good.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. What based on a true story movie do you find the most cringe due to how tropey it is and how it butchers the real story of said story?
Perfect Storm. I hate that movie.
Beautiful.
Oh man, when he's about to leave, he's like, no. He's like underwater. He's like, no, I should go down with the ship. And he pushes himself down. I'm like, oh, fuck off. You gotta goddamn people to see in a family and said that. Oh, I hated that movie. That's one I might do an NC on, because I really did not like that film.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, the Gumby movie is also pretty nostalgic to me. An NC review of that would be nice.
For a second, I thought you were talking like they're making a Gumby movie. I was like, what? Oh, I forgot there is one. Yeah. I don't know if I saw it. I'll try to check it out.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the upcoming Gotham Knights show?
I don't even think I've seen the Gotham Knights game.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a show, if I'm being honest with you. What's the show? Is it one of the HBO ones?
I'm assuming it's just called Gotham Knights.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Huh.
Gotham Knights is a game series, right?
Well, the game series is different than this. Oh, it's a CW series. I did not even know about it.
Okay. All right. That could be interesting.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 200 bits. On Friday the 6th, I tried to list a few things, but there are too many words for me to type, and I think someone was upset with me about it. So to everyone, especially the mods, I apologize for typing such large paragraphs. I'll try to keep them small in the future. What probably happened is auto mod. Streamlabs is automatically set to do a 1-second timeout and purge any messages that are over 400 characters. So it was probably just auto mod.
Short.
But yeah, short is better. Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. The reason why I tried to list them in the first place was because I'm a fiction writer who wanted your opinions, and I thought about what could help oil companies if they were kept secret and what could hinder them unless they were kept secret. Do you either of you think there's room in today's world for fictional stories that feature conspiracies?
I think a lot of fictional stories feature conspiracy. I don't know if they're and they're called documentaries. No, I don't know how. Like JFK. I'm assuming you're talking about like the old Oliver Stone movie. I don't know how many there are that don't just speak to like conspiracy theory fans. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's one for like a mass. A big generation out there, because there's enough conspiracy theories online. I mean, you can get your fix. So my guess would be no, but I don't know. If it's fiction, does it even make sense to call it a conspiracy theory because it happens in a fictional world? I don't know.
Talking of Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Since it's been technically a year, can we fully talk about God of War Ragnarok now? There's a couple
It's been that long? Wow.
It has it?
since the game came out? I thought it was more
There's
recent.
a couple of things I want to pick your brain about, like what's up with the mask? I think the developers were clear referencing Jim Carrey the mask in the movie. It was created by Loki.
We're talking about God of War Ragnarok, right?
That's the video game, yeah.
Okay.
There's
yeah,
supposedly, I have seen that. There's supposedly, like, the mask is supposedly in there.
Oh, okay. That's kind of fun. I haven't played it, but a lot of people are saying I should. So
You would love the new God of War, honestly.
And that's what I'm hearing.
You would love the 2018 one.
Maybe like in a palate cleanser or something like that. I may do that at some point because a lot of people have been recommending it to me.
It's a great game. I think you would love it. I think you'd love the gameplay. The combat is very satisfying and fun.
All right.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. Here's a writing prompt you might find humorous. Every conspiracy theory is true. All of them. You've been recruited by the Illuminati to help them against the reptilians in the fight for dominating the world, which is flat and also hollow. When I read it, I thought, how can the Earth be flat and hollow simultaneously?
See, that's why Inside Job should have been canceled, man. They answer all those questions. Yeah, no, if you haven't seen the show Inside Job, I think you really dig it.
Kevin Lane. Oh, it was a joke because it was a new year. Gotcha, talkative Carl. I was very confused. Everyone's been like, it came out like 2 months ago. And I was like, yeah, I started playing it when it came out. It hasn't been a year. Okay. Gotcha. I understand now.
Or is it a conspiracy?
Right? Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. A few months ago, I sent you an email, but you never replied. This is in all caps. What is taking you so long?
I get a lot of emails, man. Sorry if I missed it.
The Art Alchemist, thank you for the 100 bits. Will there be a future NC on the Fat Albert movie with Kenan Thompson?
I have it on the list. I've never seen it. I mean, I already know one easy joke I can make because that's a Bill Cosby property. But yeah, I've never seen the show. I've never seen the movie. I've seen the show. And I do get requests for it a lot, maybe because they just want Cosby jokes. I don't know. So I'll check it out at some point.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, you wonderful duo. Hope you are doing well. Recovering from a cold myself. So, Doug, will you do a top 11 horror movies for NC as a part of Nostalgiaween?
Man, just horror movies in general. I don't even know how I can narrow that down. That's like saying top 11 comedies of all time. It's like, It's so subjective. I'd probably have to narrow it down to like top 11, like found footage or slasher or something like that. Cause yeah, it's just, I don't think I, or maybe even anyone are qualified enough to do that.
Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 100 bits. I never saw the Charlie's Angels movie, but I'm kind of weirdly nostalgic for that time frame where it was being marketed and the Destiny's Child song made for it was everywhere. Maybe because I was a kid and it was the last bit of pre-9/11 innocence.
I do remember wanting to see the movie because it was well advertised. Like I said, the guy makes great trailers. You know, like every scene in there could easily fit in a trailer, and it does. And then like all the critics are like, it's not that good, and it was just, yeah, like I said, not for me, but clearly has a real nostalgic soft spot for a lot of people.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. I have it on good authority that 2 climate change activists seeking to protest against our use of oil and natural gas splashed tomato soup onto Van Gogh's painting Sunflowers, knowing it was protected by glass before gluing themselves to the wall. What kind of pollution would you 2 protest against, and by what means?
I don't know. I mean, to me, just talking about it, that's the best thing I can think of. But yeah, I'm not a huge activist guy, so I'm not the best one to ask. I'm sorry.
Alan, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the new Ant-Man trailer? Also, I saw Avatar 2 and Puss in Boots the last 2 weekends. I almost fell asleep in my recliner chair at Cinema's Cafe for Avatar 2, and Puss in Boots is also my favorite movie of 2022.
Right? It's so good. So good. Yeah, the new Ant-Man's looking good to me, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with that villain. That's probably the one I'm most excited about.
Robin the Snob, thank you for the 100 bits. Hope that you enjoyed/are enjoying your staycation. Mental health and a good rest is always important.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to that. It's the first time in a while. It's not that I've never done it, but in a while where I just took a week to just do nothing, just watch stuff and chill and stuff like that. And it's really nice. It's nice to do every once in a while.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. I won't spoil anything, but a new movie addresses a major concern with hydrogen energy, leaky pipes. I think such a problem can be solved with graphene lining and Tesla one-way valves. But do either of you have a better idea? No.
No, me dumb.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. I love how Matilda's storytelling, while creative, was a way for her to cope with her hardships in her life. That was so smart, and I'm glad that carried over from the stage show.
Yeah, and I only recently learned to really like the DeVito movie. I hated it for a long time, and then I revisited. I'm like, okay, this is really really good. With that said, I do like the musical better. That's just a little bit more my speed, my visual style, my type of storytelling. But they're both very very good, and I'm curious if people that grew up with it, what they think of it. If they like one more than the other or not, or if it's just apples and oranges.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. When Doug says he's the NC, death quote, I don't mean it metaphorically or rhetorically or poetically or theoretically or any other fancy way. I'm the NC, straight up.
Nice. Well, maybe I'll use that when I do the review.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. After watching Jacksepticeye play God of War Ragnarok, one of the biggest downsides of foresight becomes clear: unpleasant self-fulfilling prophecies. I once told my mom about the downsides of foresight, and she told me that in some forms of fiction, foresight is forbidden. What say the both of you?
I mean, yeah, because I do like that in fiction. If you could see into the future, would you, and stuff like that. And the ethical side of me always says, no, you shouldn't do it, stay away, it's gonna muck things up and stuff like that. But it's like, would I be able to? I don't know if I'd be able to. I'd have to peek. I'd have to peek a little bit. But I also know I would screw it up. It would be a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know what I mean? So it's like I tell myself I could stay away, but I've never been given the option, so I don't know.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you watched the first episode of The Last of Us show? And if so, what are your thoughts? I thought it was incredible.
I really liked it. I was going in very skeptical. I thought it was only going to work as a game where you have the options to choose. But they're adding things. They're expanding stuff. The two leads, I didn't think they wouldn't work, but they wouldn't be the first two people I picked. And Pedro Pascal, like, immediately, I'm like, that's Joel. Like, instantly. At least taken a little bit more time to get used to, but I like the direction they're going, because in the game, I always felt like, she's a tomboy. She climbs trees. She's just kind of the every kid that's thrown in the situation. This one has like a death stare, like she's getting inside your head kind of thing. And she's a great actress. And at first I was like, well, is that really kind of Ellie getting inside your mind? But for a show, I think that's a good idea. I love it when she's like trying to figure out the 60s and 70s and 80s, and she kind of tricks him to crack the code and stuff like that. I'm just like, okay, I like this, because that creates that tension as well of, can they trust each other, and growing that trust and everything. So I think I'm warming up to her really, really quick in what they're doing with her. And again, both phenomenal actors. So I feel like they can really pull out something really, really good with this now. I was skeptical at first, but I'm loving the hype train like everyone else.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever considered doing fanscriptions on popular sitcoms? Maybe something like, what if Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer were acquitted in court?
I don't know. I never thought about that. Or just shows in general, honestly. I don't know. Get back to you on that.
Devox, thank you for the 200 bits. Anyone looking forward to the Legends of Vox Machina Season 2 coming out? Heck yeah. Friday.
Right.
Let's go. I'm excited. The Hourman, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you, Doug, for a phrase I'll use for the rest of my life. Butter the corn.
Now, I did steal that from Bill Engvall. I got that from his stand-up. It's the funniest way of explaining that I ever heard. And I'm just like, all right, let me steal it here. So, yeah, but I'll give credit where it's due. I got that from Bill Engvall.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the 100 bits. How do either of you think the Puerto Ricans reacted to West Side Story when it was released there? I can't speak for people in Puerto Rico.
Well, I don't even know. Are we talking about the original or the remake? I guess either. I don't know, because like you said, it's like I don't live there, so I'm not sure.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm planning on going to see Puss in Boots this weekend, as well as hopefully The Whale, seeing they're getting plenty of positive reviews and such. Have you seen The Whale yet, Doug?
No, not yet. Maybe I'll try this weekend. I think I got a little time this weekend, so I'll try to see it then. I am curious. Everyone's saying Frasier's just spectacular in it, and then everyone else is like, and the movie's good. It's good. So I'm really curious.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you see the new trailer for Mandalorian season 3? Did it make you more excited for the show? Is there a new one?
Yeah, there's one that dropped like a day or two ago.
Oh god, how have I not seen that? Well, maybe because I've been in bed.
Yeah, well, it's probably it. All the more reason you should be on your phone looking that stuff up. Yeah, it still looks good. I don't. It's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer. Ever since they brought Grogu back, that kind of soured me a little bit. I thought they gave him a perfect ending, and to bring him back with the Mandalorian, I'm like, no, give him a new adventure, give him a new quest or something to go on. I didn't like that change, even though Grogu's very likable. I don't like bringing him back into the mix, but it still looks good. It still looks exciting. You know, it's still great storytellers and directors and stuff like that. So I'll still check it out.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for 100 bits. I just want to point out in 2015, Disney purchased Maker Studios, an establishment responsible for all sorts of pretentious YouTubers, including PewDiePie and Epic Rap Battles of History. So, PewDiePie and Epic Rap Battles for next Disney-cember?
Well, that's fine. We were with Maker when we kind of got was it grandfathered into that? I can't remember what the term is. And we were under it. We're just like, oh, okay. And we weren't there for long, but yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, interesting. Let's see what this does. So, but probably not going to do that. That's a real stretch. But then again, I have made some real stretches for Disney-cember. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff to cover. Cause I think they all did a lot of videos. I don't think I'll have time to see.
Pat and Zoa, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm starting to feel first viewings aren't coming back. Should I be worried?
We'll do them for ones where we legit haven't seen them and we think the reactions might be fun. Because Rob's been doing a lot of the fanscription stuff and everything like that. You know, he hasn't been able to come over and watch him. But if it's something like Pinocchio, the true story one, where like, oh, we got to film our reactions. Even if nobody watches it, it's like, no, we got to film this and put it out there. So we'll only do it for special occasions.
Pat and Zoa, thank you for the 100 bits. Do we know when the fanscription finale is coming? Can't wait. Hopefully
it's end of January, right?
Yeah. Pat and Zoa, thank you for the 100 bits. For the love of God, please review the second Charlie's Angels, please.
Let's see how the first one goes over. I was just checking the comments and everyone was just like, hey, I like this. I'm like, oh shit. But I mean, again, nobody's being rude or anything, so we'll see. But if people are like, oh, I'll see the second one, maybe we'll do it. Sequels don't usually do well when I do a Nostalgia Critic review, but who knows? Maybe Full Throttle will.
Kind Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Okay, which film is more boring? Junior, the 50 Shades films, or Hulk? Only saw the first 50 Shades and I fell asleep. It was so bad.
Probably 50 Shades, because at least Junior has the creepy Arnold baby, and Hulk, I don't know, smashed something at some point. There must have been something. But at 50 Shades, I don't remember a thing. And I should walk out of that movie remembering some things. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's probably the one.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, show us on the calendar where 90s/2000s hurt you.
It was, you know, I did a video called like the Dark Age of Movies, and I don't think it was quite around there, but I think it was like, I associate like 96 to like 2006. Like, it's weird. There's a decade in the middle there. I just wasn't a fan of. I didn't get into I love it. I just didn't get into the media. I didn't get into the music. I didn't get into the movies. I didn't get into the shows. Nothing like bad happened to me in that amount of time. I just remember not being a fan of the environment, the culture in general. So yeah, that's just what I remember. But I know a lot of people grew up around that time. They're older now. They have nostalgic feels. I get it. It just wasn't my time.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever thought about doing an NC for the live-action G.I. Joe movies? Somehow we did get 3 of them.
I only saw the first one. I remember it being really boring, except for Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Cobra Commander. I thought that was a lot of fun, but everything else I thought was pretty dull, but people do ask me to review it, so maybe I'll do it down the line.
Celluloid Surfer, thank you for the 39-month subscription.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back. Appreciate it. Always love catching the stream when I can. Well, glad to have you.
Glad to have you.
Mumra, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm a fan of Jonathan Brandis and his films like Ladybugs and Sidekicks. Happy to find out Sidekicks is finally getting a release on 4K Blu-ray this month since it never got a DVD release here in the States. Thoughts on those two films, and what was your favorite movie of his?
Yeah, it never did get a DVD. You're right, because when we reviewed it, we had to do the VHS. I remember liking it. You can't talk about it without talking about this tragic end, sadly. And, that's always it's such a terrible thing to hear. But he was on Sequest, I believe, right? Wasn't he like the kid on there? I always remember whenever he would pop up in something, I'd be like, oh, I think I would even say like the Sequest kid. And then I would get his name down, Jonathan Brando. Okay. And yeah, when I found out about that, the way his life ended, it's like, oh, that's always such a terrible thing to hear. But in terms of just his acting work, I remember it being really charming and really good. So yeah, if he was ever in a bad movie, which he was in quite a few, he was never what was bad about it.
Donald Cox, the Sweaty Fox, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. What movie scared you the most?
I remember The Haunting really kind of getting under my skin. I don't know. I didn't know a movie could kind of get scares like that out of me. That's just kind of like how my nightmare mind works. Like the scariest scene to me, I remember, it's just the camera going up the staircase and the music building. And I didn't know what was going to be at the top. And I guess I'll say spoilers. There's nothing at the top. But I just remember that buildup was so terrible. It was just like something out of a nightmare for me. And there was so much sound and imagery and just atmosphere and environment that I was like, this is scary to me. Like, this is really what legit scares me. So that's always what I think of when I'm like, wow, I didn't know a film could like actually find the things that legit kind of terrify me, just this mood and atmosphere, and really exploit it so effectively, and also have like brilliant characters and writing and so forth.
Arlena Bloodgrave, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, I saw you once did a Nostalgia Critic on Sailor Moon. Have you ever thought about doing other anime like Attack on Titan when it's finished, or was Sailor Moon a one-time thing?
One-time thing, because Japan really comes after copyright claims with that stuff. So, yeah, I think the same thing with, why am I blanking on the name of it? Ponyo. I think we did Ponyo as well. And, yeah, it was back when I think we weren't on YouTube. I don't think we were on, or I think Sailor Moon was, but yeah, it's one of those things where we're like, we tread very lightly with that because they do come after us with copyright claims, and we fight them. I mean, and we usually win and stuff, but it's a headache, and it steals views and money and stuff like that, and it's not worth the hassle.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 100 bits. You remember the old Disney sci-fi film called The Black Hole? There's a movie they should consider remaking. Just make it less depressing and more exciting.
Yeah, what would you do with the ending, too? Because they didn't even know how to end it. That's why that ending is so, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It'd be interesting because it is a cool setup and it is pretty suspenseful, and you are wondering what's going on. It had good atmosphere and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting.
CJ Noel Lopez, thank you for the 100 bits. Will you do an NC on Into the Spider-Verse just in time for Across the Spider-Verse?
I was thinking about it. It is another one of those where I'm like, man, what could I say about this that everyone else hasn't already said? I feel like everybody knows why it's good. It's so obvious why it's good. So I'll have to see. But I do really enjoy talking about it. So we'll see. I might.
The Art Alchemist, thank you for the 100 bits. Tom and Jerry meet Beetlejuice, or Tom and Jerry and the Addams Family?
Addams Family, I can definitely see them doing it. You know what? It'd be cool if they did Tom and Jerry and Beetlejuice, like the old cartoon Beetlejuice. Oh, yeah. That'd be pretty awesome.
Pat and Soa, thank you for the 100 bits. Either of you finished God of War Ragnarok? I feel it's the rare case that it should have been split between 3 games and not 2. Still made me cry. I'm not finished with it. I don't know how far I am into the story. I've been sidetracked by side quests. I'm playing it on Monday afternoons on my personal channel. And it's been a fantastic experience so far. I cried in like the first 10 minutes.
What is the so it's 2 games?
What?
I thought somebody said it should
Well,
have been 3 games.
there's the God of War 2018.
Oh, right,
and then God
okay.
of War Ragnarok as its sequel.
Gotcha.
So, Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather and Doug, has Rob seen the first few episodes of the new Trigun anime, Trigun Stampede? I heard Johnny Young Bosch is reprising his role as Vash.
I don't know if he I feel like he would talk about, because he loves that anime.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard him bring it up, so I will ask him next time I see him.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Puss in Boots 2 really made me want to watch The Bad Guys to see if the good things I heard about that film are true as well.
They're not. It's okay. Okay, let me put it this way. There are people that really, really like that movie. Maybe you'll be one of them. I thought it was just all right. But it's not bad. It's worth checking out. But yeah, I didn't quite see the fascination our people had with it.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, are you familiar with the 2000s NBC show My Name is Earl? If you haven't, the synopsis is a criminal discovers the concept of karma after he gets put in the hospital, and he spends the whole show finding the people he wronged and trying to atone. It's really good at making the character sympathetic and not at the same time.
I heard that. I tried watching it when it was on and I couldn't get into it. Maybe I gotta give it another chance. I'm also, terrible to say, I'm not really big into Jason Lee. He just doesn't interest me in the slightest. So, and nothing's always bad. Like, I like him in Chasing Amy, fine. But when he was just in everything, I think it was like you were saying with Zooey Deschanel, Heather, just like, why is she everywhere? I was saying the same thing with him. Like, why is this guy all over the place? So maybe I should give it another chance, because I heard a lot of people say it's really good. Maybe I have to start from the beginning and write it all the way through.
CJ Noel Lopez, thank you for the 100 bits. I am shocked that WB hasn't made Tom and Jerry meet Scooby-Doo, since they're both Hanna-Barbera and Tom and Jerry meets Batman. Those are two of WB's most exploited franchises.
And there's a dog in the mix. You're right. That is so clearly set up, and they haven't done that. That's a really good point.
Kind Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. I'm a huge Dick Van Dyke fan, so when reading his book, it really surprised me when he said he really didn't have much time for Chitty Chitty Bang. Yeah, didn't have much time for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. What's your thoughts on that film?
I was thinking about reviewing it because it's bizarre. I can't say it's a good movie, but it's very impressive. And I do like watching it. I grew up with it. I can't in good conscience say it's a good film, but there's so many things I love about it, and you can tell there's a lot of passion behind it. So I might review it at some point. It's a fun film to talk about, so I probably will get around to it.
KP Kruk, thank you for the 100 bits. I saw a video from Ascension Presents that talked about how the original story of Little Mermaid and other classic tales were adapted by Disney and don't deal with the consequences of the characters' choices like they did in the original source material. If there were ever a film made that were true to the original story, who would want to direct it? Who would you want to direct and star in it?
I mean, and it sucks because they are doing a remake of it, and I know they're not going to do the original story, but I would love to see an original version of like the Hans Christian Andersen Little Mermaid done. I think you, and I mean, in terms of who to do it, I can't think of a specific director, but someone, it's gonna sound weird, but someone along the lines of like a Kubrick or something like that. Like, I think you could go like really, or maybe like even a David Lynch or something, someone that could really think abstract and strange. I guess when I read the story, it had these very surreal illustrations, and I think it had like kind of a Japanese or Chinese lean to it. All the characters in it were Asian and everything, and there's just this beautiful artwork in it. It was very like cloud-like and kind of dreamlike, but it stuck to the original story as well, which does not have a happy ending. And I just remember like being really fascinated by it. And I was a kid and I was reading it. I was like, that's not like the Disney version at all, but I was really hypnotized by it. I'd love to see a version like that done. Disney will never do it, so I feel like you'd have to find another studio and a creative team to handle it. But I'd love to see one that's more like the original story.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the most recent episode of Doom Patrol from a few weeks ago titled Hope Patrol?
I liked it. I like the direction it's going now. Like I said, it was a little hit and miss early on, but I really like the direction it's going. Am I right? Are they taking a break now? They're like filming the rest of the season
I have no
or
idea.
something.
I
I thought
still
because I
haven't
don't think
finished last season.
because I think they haven't had a new episode in a bit. I thought I heard they were taking, they're finishing the rest of it. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Out of all the main Shrek villains, who was your favorite? Farquaad, Fairy Godmother, Rumpelstiltskin, or Jack Horner? I didn't include Prince Charming from Shrek 3 because he's obviously no one's favorite.
It might be Jack Horner. He got the most laughs. The most diabolical is probably the Fairy Godmother, but just for laughs, I think I gotta go with Jack Horner.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which Bill Murray performance is the worst? Osmosis Jones, Garfield, or Charlie's Angels?
Probably Osmosis Jones because he was just so annoying in that it's like Bill Murray's sick. It's just that's not fun. Yeah, he was so whiny and gross. Yeah, that's the one for me.
Art Alchemist, thank you for the 100 bits. Any final Jim Carrey movies you will be doing an NC on in the future, and any specific ones in mind you want to go over in honor of him retiring?
When they finally decide they're not going to do any more Sonic movies, I'll probably do them. I think they're interesting to talk about. I'd have to go back and look at like his whole filmography and be like, what makes sense to talk about. I mean, I grew up with Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey, so I could definitely talk about him a lot. But in terms of like, what do I really want to do a review on again, or next, I should say, I don't know. I gotta look over his filmography again.
Thanks for another hype train, y'all. Appreciate it. That's Disney Nerd. Thank you for the 100 bits. Imagine this. Every time you die in a video game, the death whistle from Puss in Boots 2 starts playing.
Oh, man, they ever did Puss in Boots video game. I mean, when you die, the death screen is right there.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 150 bits. So, Doug, is next week's compilation another DreamWorks franchise like Madagascar or How to Train Your Dragon, or is it a Disney compilation?
Oh no, it's literally reviews that have already been posted. It's the January compilation that I guess all YouTubers do now. I'm just doing it later because I think January, like the first week of January, like every YouTuber I watch, like instead of doing a video, just did like a compilation because they're like, because it's fuck you January, who cares? I'm taking time off and everything, but for me, it's like a couple weeks delayed. So yeah, we'll have that. It's a clip show essentially.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think you'll ever do a review of Jaws 2? Maybe for Freak Show Cinema?
I don't know. It didn't leave that much of an impact on me. I don't remember being bad, but I just remember being much. Where 3 and 4 are so bad, you got to talk about them. But yeah, probably not.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which 2022 multiverse movie do you like more? Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, or Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, and I do like Doctor Strange. It was fun, but I mean, it's like hands down the other one's better.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, remember your non-review for Transformers the last night? I remember you said you don't see yourself doing more vids like that, but if you ask me, you could easily do the same for the next Avatar film, by which I mean review it without watching it.
So there haven't been if the third one came out and it was just like the other two and then they were doing a fourth, then I would maybe do it. But with the third one, I mean, I will admit in two, they did leave something open with what is that Sigourney Weaver child character, like intervisions, everything. What's that about? That's the one thing where it's like, I don't know exactly what that is. I have some guesses and ideas, but I don't know exactly. So that's like the one thing. But if they do 3, it's exactly the same, and then they say they're going to do like a 4 and 5, I'll do it then.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay, Doug, will Remember the Titans or Mr. Holland's Opus be in this year's Disney-cember? They're both really good movies, in my opinion. Have you seen those 2 movies yet?
No, I might do Remember the Titans. I don't know who's going to care about Mr. Holland's Opus. I do know a lot of people that like Remember the Titans, though, and say, have you seen it? It's a classic movie and stuff, so I'll try to check that out.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Charles Gordon King Kong movie from the 70s? Rodents, all right.
Yeah, I don't think man, I saw it on TV. Because there's a couple. I might be confusing that with the Jeff Bridges one. They might be the same one. I don't know. I confused those live action remakes, those ones that was around like the 70s and 80s quite a bit. I think I'd have to watch it again because I feel like I'm going to confuse it with the Jeff Bridges one.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Two-Face in the Harley Quinn show? Personally, I think he's a super underrated character, and Andy Daly is hilarious as the character.
He's okay. I thought he could be funnier. I do love him representing mayors and politics and stuff like that as the show goes on, and he's literally two-faced there. I think that's pretty clever. I don't remember getting a ton of laughs out of him, but he was okay.
Kind Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug, also Heather. Does it actually surprise you when the Star Wars prequels are becoming more popular than the sequels? I actually really like the prequels, as you know where the story's going. The sequel is just all over the place.
I mean, I'm assuming they mean like the sequel trilogy. I mean, do I agree? No, I don't like Rise of Skywalker, but I do like the sequel. Actually, man, isn't that funny? Because I like the first two sequel films fine, and then don't like Rise of Skywalker. I actually like Revenge of the Sith, okay, and don't like the other two prequels. So man, there's always some sort of mismatch we could get in there.
Right.
But if people have nostalgia for them, if people grew up with them, they liked Jar Jar when they were kids and stuff like that. So that's not surprising.
That's Disney Nerd. Thank you for the 100 bits. Out of curiosity, why did you think that Joker's card being shown at the end of Batman Begins was one of the weakest sequel baits of all time?
It just felt like they didn't have a plan. They didn't even really do much with the Scarecrow or the villains they had there. They had something like 3 villains squished into it. It's like, now we're gonna do the Joker, woo-hoo-hoo. And it's like, okay, we all were like, oh, so he already exists. He doesn't like fall into a vat of chemicals, whatever. Everyone was like, lame when that popped up. We didn't know what they had planned, right? Maybe they didn't even know, honestly, but what they put together was pretty goddamn great. So, yeah, at the time it just seemed like lame sequel baiting, but they followed through. They turned in something pretty good.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which of the villains from Puss in Boots 2 was your favorite? Death, Jack Horner, or Goldilocks and the Bears?
Oh, Death, man. He was legit intimidating.
Echo Whale, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, what are your top 3 favorite movies of last year?
Puss in Boots, Everything Everywhere at Once. I'm trying to think. I actually did really like Elvis. I don't know. Was it a bad enough year where I would say that's my third favorite? I'd have to look at a list of movies, and maybe I'll do that while you read the next question here.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits.
The menu. Boom. That's like the first thing that popped up, the menu. Yes, there you go.
The menu was very good. Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Hank's father, Cotton, in King of the Hill?
I hate him, but I know that's the idea.
Right.
So he's very well done. I love the way they handled, again, without going too much into spoilers, his death in the show. It was so harsh and so mean-spirited, but the way they handled it, I thought was very interesting. And yeah, people like that exist, man. They totally do. So it's very well done, but I hate him. I don't like watching him, but I know that's the point.
Blue Rossis, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Since it's only one season long, will you review Invader Zim or the Invader Zim Enter the Florpus movie?
I haven't seen the whole show yet. I've seen a couple episodes for Dark Toons, and I do like it. We'll see. You're right. It is only one season, so I could probably squeeze in all the episodes somehow. I will do my best.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think you'll ever watch Marcel the Shell with shoes on? It's honestly amazing.
I should. I heard it's really, really good. Yeah, that's another one I was gonna get to when I had my week off. I didn't get a chance.
Psychotic Yoshi, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Gus Van Sant film Good Will Hunting?
I like it. I saw it again like last year, and it held up a little better than I thought. I already liked the film, but I don't know. I weirdly connected with it a little bit more second time around, because I only saw it when it first came out.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can I ask you something about Louise from Bob's Burgers? It's come to my attention that people aren't fans of what she's become recently. They don't like how she's calmer and more mature as opposed to how intense and mischievous she was at the beginning. Where do you stand?
I haven't noticed that. I guess I haven't really compared them. I don't know. I feel like if there was a big character change with any of them, it would stand out to me, because again, I don't remember like specific like episodes as much as like just attitudes and feelings and vibes and stuff because I love those characters so much. So I don't. I actually like in that Christmas episode everybody was talking about. I like that even though she has the sentimental moment, it's still done through the Luis way. Like it might not have happened because she's like, it's not worth it. She's just thinking it to herself, and she wasn't really looking for attention. It was just them showing up that kind of caused that change. So it still felt very genuine to me. It felt in character. So yeah, I haven't noticed that.
Kind guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. I love Queen, especially Freddie Mercury, so like to think I know his story. So when I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, apart from the music, I felt quite insulted as they got most of all their facts wrong. What's your view?
You know, you're right. You're totally right. I don't know why that movie doesn't. It should piss me off more because it has all the things I don't like in these type of musical biographies, but it did entertain me. And maybe because I didn't know much about the history of Queen, I just knew enough that that's not how it went down.
Yeah.
But it did still. I liked watching the creative process, I think, and I like the chemistry the actors had. I like the way it was shot. I like the pacing of it. You know what it is? It's Braveheart. I like Braveheart. Complete fiction, like absolute bullshit. But I still like the movie. It's an enjoyable movie to me, and I think it's the same thing for me. I know that movie's complete nonsense. Same thing with Elvis. That's done like an Elvis movie. I think that's the idea. I think it's more clever about it than something like Bohemian Rhapsody. But yeah, so it didn't bother me. I completely get why people would be pissed off about it, and when the real story be a lot more interesting. Yes, totally agree. But for some reason, I didn't mind the way they did. I thought they did it just well enough where I thought it was pretty entertaining.
Blue, thank you for the 100 bits. As Chicagoans, what do you think Chicago has better than New York, the New York City and Los Angeles doesn't have?
People.
Architecture, pizza.
Yeah, I mean, all the stuff we complain about.
Breweries.
I don't know. Everybody who comes here from one of those places is always impressed at the attitude, the environment, the atmosphere. It's just, I'm not going to say it's laid back because it's not that. It's just laid back compared to LA and New York. With that said, now LA, no disrespect to the people who live in LA, I can't stand LA at all. I get why people are there. Even people that live in LA can't stand LA. I mean, it's like, I get why people are there and everything. I'm not a fan. New York, it gets to me, but I legit mad respect it as well. I get why people are like that. You have to fight for your space. You have to, really. It's the biggest, like one of the biggest cities in the world, yet there's still people everywhere. You have to fight for everything. You have to be loud. I understand. There's so many impressive things there, though, that you could just never see the entire thing. It's a marvel. It really is. So I get that. That's why I love visiting New York. I love living in Chicago. And maybe working in LA, that even people live in LA, it's like it's a good place to work. Living is the tricky part.
Night Flight, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, can you do a Nostalgia Critic video on the Book of Life and Netflix's Full Metal Alchemist live action movie?
The Full Metal one ain't gonna happen. Even I did see the anime. I like the anime. I never did see the movie. But we talked about before, Japan copyright is just super, super strict. It's just gonna be a headache. Book of Life, maybe. I remember liking it. It doesn't fully work, but it might be interesting to talk about. I don't know. We'll see.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever been to Universal Studios? And if so, do you have a favorite ride?
Like years ago, I think the Back to the Future ride was still there last time I was there. So yeah, I'm not the one to talk to about that. But when I was there, I had a great time and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I think they've changed. They changed a lot since I've been there last.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay, you did Tombstone and Batman Mask of the Phantasm last year. Both are turning 30 this year. Will you do the Jeff Bridges film Fearless as an NC review? It's such an underrated movie, but it's so good. Plus, it's turning 30 this year. Please consider doing a review.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's one of my favorite movies. It's amazing. I don't know if I could do an NC on it. A, I don't think anyone would watch it. B, I don't think there's anything I could bring to it that would be that unique. I could sum up what I really like about it in like, I don't know, 5, 10 minutes. You know what I mean? It's not something where I need like a 20-minute review to do it. So probably not, but I'm glad you really enjoy it. I hope it does get even more of a following because it's very, very good. But it's depressing, fair warning, super depressing, but it's very, very good.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which Alan Tudyk DC villain performance was your favorite? Mr. Nobody, Clayface, or the Joker?
Uh, Probably Mr. Nobody. He was pretty fun. I do really love Clayface though.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. So, Doug, remember when you said there wasn't a VHS/DVD release of The Muppet Family Christmas? Apparently, they do exist, but they're just a bit pricey at about $53 or more.
Okay. You sure they're not bootleg? That's interesting. It's on YouTube now, and it has a lot of hits on it. So, yeah, I just there's so many things I wish Disney Plus would just fork out the extra money for and start cleaning them up and get them out there. That's one of the things I think that would, because again, you look on YouTube, I think it has over like 1 million hits. Like, I think they'd do gangbusters if they got that on Disney Plus. I think people would watch that every Christmas.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the upcoming Barbie movie? Are you going to see it?
Of course I'm gonna see it.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's like a big release. Yeah, I mean there's not a lot to go off of yet, but the few clips I've seen, it looks like fun. It looks like it has a good sense of humor. I keep saying the fact that they had them in the Toy Story movies and they had a good sense of humor about it, I think gives a lot of hope to it. And Margot Robbie's a lot of fun. That director's a lot of fun. So I don't know. I'm optimistic.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. What's the biggest example of a movie with an all-star cast that faded into obscurity?
Man, I'm trying to think. I guess Mars Attacks did, because that's getting kind of a following. Yeah, I'm trying to think of somewhere it just listed all these people and then just like nothing at all. Evolution's that one. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to. That's another one I probably have to look up. Is something like that. Oh man, maybe Rat Race. I really like that movie too, and that really didn't get too much of a following. I'll say that. That's my choice.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think you'll do the cartoon Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes for Disney-cember? It's honestly one of the best Marvel cartoons ever made.
If I did, it'd probably be next year. I think I got all the shows I'm going to do this year planned already, but I'll keep that in mind.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you remember the Vanessa Carlton 1,000 Miles music video where she plays/rides a piano? I do.
I have to see it again.
Do you at least know the song 1,000 Miles? If I could fall into the sky, do you think time would pass me by?
Yes, okay. See, that's the thing. I always have to hear a little bit of it or something like that. I don't know if I remember the music video. I definitely remember the song. What's it called again? Maybe if I saw
1,000 Miles.
1,000 Miles music video. let me see if oh, okay, I do remember this. Yeah. I remember that being pretty cool.
Randacy Gaming, thank you for the 100 bits. I have a few things to say, Doug. I remember you said that Disney's Pepper Ann was long, but season 1 and 2 are 13 episodes, and season 3 is a combination of 3 and 4. Two new Phineas and Ferb seasons. Will you be playing and will you be playing any old Lucasfilms game like Monkey Island and Sam and Max?
We'll have to see. We got the next few games planned. After that, I don't think we have them quite planned out. We have a few like maybe this options, but they're not set in stone yet. So we'll see.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm just going to say it. I'm not looking forward to the new Phineas and Ferb episodes because the last few episodes put the repeated elements to rest. Candace, stopped trying to bust the boys. Doof gave up trying to take over the tri-state area, and summer ended. What more can you do?
Yeah, I'm curious if they're going to do almost like a prequel thing, like the days or the half days in between. Maybe it's how do they spend fall or winter, kind of thing. Which honestly, like, I'd be open to that if they picked like a different period of time to focus on or a different season. I would like to see something a little different. I know that show literally thrives in repetition. That's part of the joke. But it'd be fun to kind of see how they do that in a different way, in a different season, or would they change up the formula? I don't know. They're so well written. I'm optimistic to see what they would do with it.
DCL Coda, thank you for the 100 bits. So, Doug, any interest in seeing Babylon? I would be so curious to know your opinion. Honestly, the more I defend it, the more I love it. I love that it exists as it does. Plus, it's just a gorgeously made film.
I didn't have much interest until I saw Brad Jones's review, and he's kind of saying what you were saying. Like, I get why this movie has bad reviews, but by God, I love it. I love how uncompromising it is, and insane it is, and in your face it is, and I'm curious to check it out. So I'll probably see it when it comes to streaming, but yeah, I will check it out at some point.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Glass Onion? And if so, what are your thoughts, and how does it compare to Knives Out?
Yes, I like it. It's a little bit more traditional. It's more what I thought I was gonna get with Knives Out. But that's kind of nice too. He doesn't have to like change it up so much that he can't just give you what the movie's promising. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 100 bits. I loved when Buster got right up in your face during the sponsorship this week, and you barely blinked. Such a cat life.
Yeah, no, I think that's what happens when you have cats. You know, you can get right up to them and they don't blink either. So goes both ways.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What is it about Jiminy Cricket that makes you hate him so much? May I remind you that Disney characters like Jack Jack, Turk, and Gurgi exist?
I mean, he's not the worst, but no, and he serves the purpose totally fine. He matches that world. It's not something where if I could go back and do this movie again, I'd get rid of him. No, he matches perfectly. I just find him annoying. Something about he's just, oh gosh darn it, so swell. You know, just something about that voice and those mannerisms and stuff like that. I'm like, with someone like Mr. Rogers, I buy that it feels genuine, it feels real. Something about Jiminy Cricket, I'm just like, nah, you gotta do something. You're up to something.
We are gonna have
You
to.
ain't real.
We are gonna have to pick up the pace a little bit. We're still 38 minutes behind.
Gotcha.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Okay, so I know Doug doesn't like Pokemon, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Is there any Pokemon, at least from Detective Pikachu, that you actually do like?
Oh, I'm sure, like, Mewtwo, I think, is cool. I'm sure if you show me some other ones I say they're awesome. But, yeah, I just didn't grow up with it.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. I grew up with the 90s movies. I prefer the new movie musical. I think this is about Matilda, sorry. I grew up with the 90s movie. I prefer the new movie musical overall, but I prefer Trunchbull in the 90s film and the slower pace. I like the new movie's portrayal of Miss Honey more, but I wish they had more screen time like in the 90s film.
That's fair. No, thank you for sharing.
Cypher, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. I just got Factor, and I used your code, and when it said right where you heard about us, I wrote Nostalgia Critic.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. They are really, really good.
Pat and Soa, thank you for the 100 bits. Love the choice for Miles Morales as the next game, but please do God of War as the next palate cleanser. It's a gaming masterpiece.
I'm hearing that more and more. I'll look into it.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. The new musical was closer to the book, though. In the book, Matilda got powers because her brain wasn't being challenged, and she ended up losing her telekinesis after she got more challenging school material.
Oh, interesting. Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely closer to the book. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Modern Seinfeld Twitter channel where modern storylines are pitched for Seinfeld?
No, that sounds fun, though. I gotta check that out.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. With how much you like Mask of Zorro, have you considered doing a fanscription for The Legend of Zorro?
Maybe. Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Next Disney-cember, everything Doug since he was briefly part of Maker. And yes, this includes Melvin, Brother of the Joker, and Demo.
Review my own stuff. That'd be kind of a fun, like, April Fool's joke or something, like a Disney-cember in April. That's all the Maker stuff. Yeah, maybe.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think you'll do a Disney-cember for the Fox X-Men movies, or at least just the Deadpool movies and Logan? With how you did Prey, clearly R-rated movies don't seem to be off the table.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have to put a limit somewhere, so probably not. I think they're already kind of filled up, but we'll see. It's not a definite no.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. As of late, my favorite female character in an animated show is Chalice from the Cuphead show. I love the switch from helpful deity in the game to a slippery, savvy shyster who uses her cuteness to commit all manners of crimes. Her tumultuous upbringing in the show makes her even more fascinating and sympathetic.
Cool. I've only seen a little bit of the first season, but I remember liking it.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think you'll ever play South Park: The Stick of Truth on Twitch? It's honestly amazing. It feels like a love letter to the show.
I played a little bit of it. I do like it. I've never played the whole thing though, so we'll see.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 100 bits. What were your thoughts on the Hawkeye show if you saw it during your staycation? I don't think this is a spoiler, but Yelena was one of my favorite parts of the show. Hawkeye was never one of my favorite Avengers, but this show got me to like him more.
I still didn't get a chance to watch it, but good God, after the news about him, I think the least I could do is probably watch the show. I hope he turns out okay.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which celebrity that South Park mocked is your favorite? For me, it's Russell Crowe. I would genuinely love fighting around the world if it was a real thing.
I like the Mel Gibson one because everybody loved The Passion when it came out, and I said what they said. That was a snuff film.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Saddam Hussein in South Park?
I just love the voice, the little voice like this. That cracked me up quite a bit.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which Jason Lee performance is worse, Alvin and the Chipmunks or Underdog?
I'll say Alvin and the Chipmunks just because it was the worst movie.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever seen the Robin Williams movie 1 Hour Photo?
Yeah, I remember liking it.
Kenton Plays Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. I don't know if you already have plans for another Scooby-Doo film for Nostalgiaween, but if not, I'd recommend Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, since it turns 22 this year.
All right, I'll try to check that out.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What was your reaction to Cliff talking to the oven mitt in Doom Patrol?
Oh, I think that's so funny. Yeah, especially the little girls on foot. That cracks me up. I love it.
Randy Gaming, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. I was wondering that during your break, did you watch any of the shows I recommended, like Disney's Nightmare Ned or Disney's Motor City or even Disney's Mission to Mars? Also, have you seen Isle of Dogs yet?
I did see Isle of Dogs, and I really liked it. That was one of the ones I watched. I really enjoyed it. I've not gotten a chance to see others, man. I'm so sorry.
Wolf Ninja Aaron Arts, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen or heard about the new Sheen Ultraman movie?
Sheen Ultraman?
Yeah.
No, I don't even think I've heard of it.
I
I'll
have.
try to check that out.
I'm excited. I'm interested in seeing it because I did enjoy Sheen Godzilla, and apparently maybe they're going to be connected, ? So I want to check out Sheen Ultraman.
Oh, cool. Okay.
CM Sully, thank you for the 100 bits. I just watched a Mickey Mouse short where Chernabog played football. What is Disney smoking, and where can I get some?
Yeah, where did you see that, man? I gotta check that out. I'm assuming he won.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. What were some of your favorite Gene moments in the Bob's Burger movie? I'm curious because I remember you said that he was your least favorite character except for the movie.
I'd have to look at it again. I just remember him getting some good laughs. I like when he does the song with the little, napkin thing, and it's gonna revolutionize. I thought that was pretty fun.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. I recently watched Vegas Vacation. Wasn't a huge fan, though Randy Quaid was still hilarious as Cousin Eddie. What are your thoughts?
Well, which one?
Vegas Vacation.
I remember it being very meh, but not awful.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Did you watch Glass Onion yet? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I really liked it. I enjoyed it a great deal.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. If they ever made a live-action Billy and Mandy movie, who would you want as a director? I think Guillermo del Toro or Julie Taymor could do it.
oh man, I'd love to see how Taymor would do Death. That'd be really cool. I haven't seen much of the show, so I'm not the one to ask, sadly.
The Art Alchemist, thank you for the 100 bits. Were you shocked when you first heard Invader Zim's voice in Hell of a Boss? Basically, an R-rated version of Zim?
I mean, any voice that comes out of there, they're so strange looking, doesn't shock me that much. I like not knowing who they are either, because then I'll find out in the credits, oh shit, I didn't know those people were in it.
King Croker, thank you. King Croker found the YouTube link for that Chernabog playing football short.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Ed Helms as an actor?
I remember him being okay. I think like a lot of people, he's, hit or miss depending on the project. But when he has something good, it's good.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think you'll do a review of the Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, and Hobbit movies?
I don't know. What's left to say about him? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I found something new to say, maybe I would.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Who is your favorite parent character in South Park? For me, it's Cartman's mom. She may sleep with everything she comes into contact with, but I love how super nice she is to literally everyone, which makes it all the more bizarre how someone like Cartman could be her child.
Is it Stan's dad the one that always like just gets into everything? He's kind of like Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, where he'll just jump into any new thing and over exaggerate. I forget which parent that is, but I really like that guy. He's always funny.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Of the two Rian Johnson mystery villains, who do you like more? Chris Evans as Ransom in Knives Out or Edward Norton as Miles Braun in Glass Onion?
Well, kind of spoilers.
Well, I mean,
probably, probably Norton, just because he's allowed to be a little funnier.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which of the friend characters in Phineas and Ferb is your favorite? Isabella, Baljeet, or Buford?
Isabella's pretty funny. It ain't just the catchphrase. What you doing? That's I don't know why. That always just makes you smile.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Which do you like better, Fantastic Mr. Fox or Isle of Dogs?
Mr. Fox, but Isle of Dogs was very, very good. It's a little like apples and oranges.
Alexander, thank you for the... Oh, I just read that. Sorry. Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What was your favorite scene in Isle of Dogs?
Again, without going into spoilers, the skeleton in the cage. Hopefully, it's not giving away too much, but that made me laugh so hard, and it also felt very, very tragic to see.
Yeah. All right, and actually, that is it for the bit messages. There were less there than I thought there were. But that's good.
So good.
We got 10 minutes then to look at some of these highlighted, which I always love when we can actually spend time with chat here. Orlando Garcia says, Cartman's mom's been putting her foot down more as of late. She ain't the same doormat as before.
I feel bad because I haven't kept up with South Park like at all. God, might even be like a decade since I've seen them last. They're not bad. They haven't gotten bad at all. I just haven't had time to keep up with them. Although I did see a little bit of the the COVID special? Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Oliver Dreamwalker says, Doug, I think you might like the dark Pokédex entries. For example, Drifloon, the balloon Pokemon, Doom winning a Golden Globe for... Oh, wait, sorry. Wow. The chat moved and I completely started reading something else. Drifloon, the balloon Pokemon, stories go that it grabs the hands of small children and drags them away to the afterlife. It dislikes heavy children.
All right, I already kind of like that writing. Maybe I'll check that out.
The Art Alchemist says, I just noticed your Coraline shirt. Is that supposed to hint at a future NC?
No, but it might anyway. I'd love to do Coraline and Paranorman at some point as a review. They're both such good movies.
Lord R. Wolfen says, Yo, Doug, dude, and Heather, dude. What are your thoughts on the guy who played Short Round in Temple of Doom winning a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor for the film Everything Everywhere All at Once? Also, would the Mega Man count as a palate cleanser? And if so, would you play the Legacy Collection?
I feel like there's other games I'd kind of want to play before then. You know, like everyone's saying Ragnarok and stuff like that, so I'd probably play that before. Yeah, in terms of that dude, I mean, he was great in that movie. Like he was really, really wonderful. So, yeah, no, I couldn't be more excited for him.
His speech, like, made me tear up, too. Did you watch his speech?
No, I only saw the Brendan Fraser one. Okay, I gotta check that out then.
It was beautiful. Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which Gravity Falls side character is your favorite? For me, it's Sheriff Blubs and Deputy Durland. The dumb cop trope is a dime a dozen, but you can't help but love them for how close they are.
Oh, man. Maybe Gideon, he's pretty funny. Something about that voice, it's my face. I don't know why he just cracks me up.
Honest Reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. Here's an NC request for a subject matter you never talk about, DuckTales, more specifically. The movie Lost to the Jetsons movie at the box office. That's literally what its wiki highlights about its release. Would be the last DuckTales related thing you haven't NC'd yet.
Man, I didn't know that. I saw both those movies on the big screen too when I was a kid. I didn't know Lost to the Jetsons movie though. Ooh, that's harsh. That's harsh.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's really rough. I did Disney-cember on it. I don't know if I could do like an NC on it. Maybe I could. I don't know. We'll see.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. I know Gene is your least favorite Belcher, but how would you rank Bob, Linda, Tina, and Louise?
Oh, I don't know, man. They're all so great. Don't make me choose. I can't. I love them all so equally. They're so good. They're so well written and acted, and oh, I just love them. Love them all.
Lord R. Wolfen says, can I use you as a subject for a video series I plan on making?
Sure, trust me, plenty of others have, man. So go to town.
Master Mario, I'm sure they're joking. Hey, James, any hints on the next Angry Video Game Nerd review?
It's the one where I go, ass!
Power Gamer says, so Heather, is it fair to assume your BAT credit card equivalent is, you like jazz? Absolutely. I'll end the stream right now. No, I'm just kidding. Devil Owner says, thoughts on James Rolfe's book?
Oh, I liked it a lot. What I really liked about it was that he would sort of say what was going on in his life, and then he would just move on to the next thing. He'd say what he thought, sort of get it out there, and just go on. It didn't feel like it rambled on too much, because I love autobiographies. That's like my favorite thing to read. And even sometimes if like something's going on a little bit, I'll be like, well, okay, but that's fine. That's why I like this person. I like hearing them really go into a lot of what they're thinking and stuff like that. But I really like he'll sort of get to the moment, what happened, how he felt about it, the impact it had, and then on to the next thing. Like it was very, very concise, and I like that. But it still had like the real emotional stuff in it too. So yeah, no, I really liked it.
Ramirez says, do you prefer Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny? Oh, and Boomer will live.
Bugs Bunny, man, all the way. Mickey's fine, but Bugs Bunny, yeah.
King Wyatt says, have you seen Beetlejuice the musical?
No, I've seen clips of it, and everyone says it's great. I don't even know if it ever like did come to Chicago already. I don't know. That's one of the musicals where it's like if it did, I would, because I don't go to many Broadway musicals, but it's like that one I'd probably try to get tickets to because I hear it's pretty cool.
Portchester VA says, all right, Doug, the people need to know. What are your legit thoughts on Matthew Broderick? You've made a lot of jokes saying he's bland or a terrible boring actor. What do you actually think about him? Hate him? Indifferent? Think he's just okay?
You know, I saw him on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, which is so weird because I don't see him as a comedian, but whatever. And that's just kind of how he talks. Everything just has this way of coming out this way. And, he'll just say, look at that car. It's a nice car. It's a nice car. And it's just, that's how he talks. And knowing that, I think I like his performances even less, but I like him more. I think he's like just sort of this adorable human being in real life. And I don't know. He's one of those people where it'd be like, man, it'd be fascinating just to hear a conversation of him because like he's almost like walking. Nobody talks like that, but it's kind of fascinating. So yeah, I still don't get into him much as an actor, but yeah, he's very fascinating to listen to just as a person.
Adam Grunter, thank you for the 100 bits. While you've made clear you don't care for either show, which 60s cartoon comes closer to being better for you, Flintstones or Jetsons?
Maybe Flintstones, because you have to get a little bit more creative with the how the household works and the tools and everything. Jetsons, it's like, oh, it's a raid, boom, food's ready. Where with Flintstones, you have to think really outside the box about how you're going to make all that stuff. So I'll probably say that.
Alex Loves You Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. Beetlejuice the Musical is going on tour. IDK if it'll go to Chicago, though. Well, if it's going on tour, it'll probably hit Chicago.
Usually does? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, I'll have to look that up. Yeah, maybe. I'll look that up.
Maji Dude says, please, Doug, play Psychonauts 1 and 2 and Ghostbusters the video game 2009.
I did play one of them on VR without knowing anything about it. I didn't even know it was part of the series or whatever. It was really, really cool. It was a lot of fun. But I never played the other game, so I was dropped right in the middle of this story. And they did a good job like catching you up about what happened and everything. But yeah, I didn't really know anything about the characters or such. But the designs and the world and everything was really, really cool.
Evan Lane says, I fear you misunderstood my meaning. Are there any fictional stories where the ability to see the future is forbidden?
I feel like there has to be, but
I don't know
I
any off
can't
the top
think
of
of
my
them top of
head.
my head. Yeah.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your overall thoughts on Jaws?
Just the original movie. I mean, it's a brilliant film. Yeah, I don't know what else can you say about it. It's just a brilliant film. I'll say this: it's very indicative of like, man, that's when Spielberg was like kind of the risque guy. Like, man, what's this guy gonna do? And even though I love Spielberg, I love his movies and everything, there was something a little disappointing when it's like, oh, okay, he kind of fell into the whimsical, magical, let me make have happy endings at the end, or if it's a sad ending, it's not really a sad ending. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of a shame. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of an edge to his stuff, but yeah, it is cool seeing that and like Duel when like there really was like this harsh edge to what he did back then.
DCL Coda says, watching Doug's Detective Pikachu review and seeing his reaction to Ditto was perfect, since as a Pokemon fan, I had the exact same reaction.
To which one?
Detective Pikachu? To
Yeah,
Ditto,
but which
your reaction to Ditto.
Ditto? Okay. I don't remember which one Ditto is. I'm sorry, but that was a good reaction. I'll never forget it.
Orlando Garcia, thank you for the 100 bits. Last bits for tonight. My Twitter feed's been overrun with posts of Mario and Luigi kicking Sephiroth's ass. What do you make of this, Heather? They're just jealous, you know? They're just jealous of Sephiroth and his really, really long sword and his beautiful physique and his beautiful wing. And that's fine. You know what? They can't keep Sephiroth down.
I want to hear Mario actually sing the theme song. Sephiroth!
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. You've made it no secret that you weren't a fan of Ed Helms' take on the Onceler, and I'm curious to know why more specifically. What in particular got under your skin?
I mean, I don't know how much you can blame him. He's given them exactly what they wanted. They just made him like this hipster nothing where he was supposed to be like the everyman. You know, he's a character you literally didn't see. It's like when people saw Dr. Claw in the Inspector Gadget movie. It's like, you're not supposed to see him. It was the same thing. But where that one's like, oh, we just grew up with that in the show, this actually hurts the story because anyone could be the Onceler. That's the idea. But instead, it's this guy. He's being pushed by his family. It's not really him. He's just being persuaded. Oh, I hate that movie. Sorry.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Last minute bit message. Who's a better Mario, Charles Martinet or Lou Albano?
Ooh.
It's Charles Martinet, I'm sorry.
Boy, I don't know, because the other dude has so much more dialogue he had to say. It was a little bit more. Charles Martinet doing like, you know, like a lot of dialogue. I don't know if that would work, but that's also not the setup either. So I don't know. I guess it is kind of apples and oranges, isn't it? I don't know if I could choose.
And Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which DreamWorks villain do you like more, Death or Lord Shen?
I like Death more. And not that I'm saying he's better. I think he's cooler.
All right, cool. And that will bring us to the end here because
Perfect.
it is 8:01. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. As usual, we super appreciate it. We do have content here 5 days a week. In case you missed it, we do not do Awesome Comics on Saturdays anymore, but we will be back tomorrow and Friday. So Doug will be starting. You already announced that you're starting Miles Morales?
I think Jay Austin did, yeah. So, well,
Okay.
yeah, we announced it now. If we didn't, yeah, we're doing Miles Morales starting Friday. Oh, no, it's in the NC video. That's right there. I announced it there. So, yes. This Friday, we're going to start doing that. I'm very excited. I hear it's a super fun game.
Yeah. All right. We are all going to go over and raid Tamara's channel. So say hello to Tamara. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you all so much. We super appreciate it. And we will see y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank